Hi there, Sagittarius. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm here to do your April 2017 tarot reading. Thanks for joining me. I'm filming these in March, so I'm hoping that by the time April comes around, spring will have started to happen. Okay, so let's get started. At the bottom of the deck, oh, you can't really see the cards, can you? Here, why don't I just do this? So at the bottom of the deck this month is the King of Tides, which is the King of Cups. And this king is an emotionally mature, usually older man or mature acting man. And he's very much in touch with his emotions, but at this point, being emotionally mature, he doesn't let them drive him. He won't, like the negative side of him, for if this was, say, reversed, he would have road rage, he would have anger, he would just be emotional, probably emotionally abusive, and just very much sort of out of control, because he would just get so angry or so upset about things that would really drive him. Now he's able to acknowledge his feelings, but they certainly don't control him, if that makes sense. So really facing this month with emotional maturity and acknowledging your emotions, but understanding that you are in control of your emotions and that you will consider them and think about them, but you won't be firing off email, turning around and firing off an email if someone sent you something that made you angry. You're going to sit on it, you're going to wait overnight, you're going to have someone else review it so that it doesn't, because when you respond with emotion, your message is lost, because people just see, God, they're upset, God, calm down, because they're emotionally detached from the situation. So this king's going to make sure he expresses himself and not let it get overly emotional. And he's also going to be sensitive to the emotions of the person that he's communicating with. So again, stripping away any sort of blame or anger or things like that. But it's a very nice card to have at the bottom of the deck, because if we're feeling that we are looking at each situation this month with that in mind, it's obviously going to be a good month. Now we do have a couple sword cards here. So this 10 of Wands, which is the 10 of Swords, this card is about mental exhaustion, it could be mental abuse that you've suffered. And it's very often abuse it's not Ike Turner beating the crap out of Tina. That's like so obvious. Everyone can recognize that as abuse. Not that it's easy if you're the victim to get out of it. That don't mean to imply that, but it's very obvious for everyone to recognize that type of abuse. Mental abuse, not so much, and it's often much subtler. It's often done behind closed doors or in little ways over time. And so when the 10 of Swords gets here, we're done. We've figured it out. We've acknowledged it. And it doesn't even have to be some big dramatic thing that happens, but it's the straw that breaks the camel's back, where there is some situation that has mentally, it doesn't have to be an abusive situation, but has gotten to the point where mentally we're just exhausted and done, and we're not going to spend another second dealing with it ever again. It's like a switch is flicked in your brain, and that is it. And there is no going back. There no amount of apologies, no amount of plans to fix it. Like you have done that over and over. You have tried. You have given it your best. You have done everything you can to fix a situation. And it's kind of the point of acknowledging that you can't fix someone else's issue or a problem. You can only control yourself. That's kind of going back to the King of Tides, the King of Cups. Like you can't. It's cutting off codependency. It's just understanding that you can only do what you can do, and everyone else is responsible for their behavior. And you're no longer going to deal with this futile situation. So again, this doesn't have to be like your whole life. This could be just one. I mean, maybe there's been an issue with your child's daycare. Maybe there's been an issue with, at your job with one person, or with a friendship, with someone that you have to deal with, you're trying to deal with, that's working on your house or something. And maybe you have to fire that person, and even take a hit. It doesn't matter. You're just realize that this is not going to work out. And it's a new beginning, because you're just, okay, moving on, cutting my losses, moving on, and I'm not going to deal with that stress anymore. So it relieves a stressful situation. The Queen of Gardens. So right now, right off, it's April, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. It's springtime, getting outside. Things are blooming, are fertile. Really getting in touch with nature. I can see us just very on a very superficial level, just getting outside more, planting some flowers, doing some spring cleaning, really decluttering, and beautifying our surroundings. She's very grounded. She's a very good manager. So some of you, a manager could be getting fired. We have this Five of Wands, which is strife. It can be friendly competition, but if one person's looking at it in a friendly, amicable way, and the other person is just doesn't play by the rules, is gossipy and nasty behind someone's back, and trying to sabotage and talk down to people, and if you're the person that's being above board, don't stoop to someone else's level, first of all. But it may just be that it's an incompatibility. The person just isn't willing to get on board. And so I think this is that conflict that we're talking about with this Ten of Swords, that you're just like, I'm done. Bye-bye. Like, go to hell. I'm not tolerating this anymore. And you don't feel guilty about it anymore. You're not like, it's going to be great, because it's just like, see ya, have a miserable life. I'm moving on from you. And she just comes in. She's just taking practical steps and getting on with her life. She's running her house. She's running her business. She's running her life, and she's never looking back, because she's just like, I got this under control. I can handle everything. And life is so much nicer without that thing that was just nagging and driving me nuts and causing me stress, bringing all this stress into my life. But it's done. It could be a separation from a partner. It could be someone in the workplace, but you're figuring out how to deal with a difficult situation, and you're handling it very, very well. You're very practical, and you just dealt with it really well with emotional maturity, and you're feeling really, really good about it. And here's the queen of that king of wands, of cups, of tides, the queen of tides, the queen of cups. Again, emotional maturity. She's dealing, and like I said before, I was like, screw you, but that's not how you're going to, that's how you're going to feel in your brain, but you're going to handle the situation beautifully. You're going to handle it. You're not going to get emotional. You're just going to very calmly put an end to it, and you're going to feel good. You're going to feel like, wow, I'm gaining a lot of confidence from the situation because I handled it with such maturity. And I approached it. I know I did everything I could, and I learned the lesson here. And the lesson I learned was that I cannot control and change other people. And some situations are beyond my control, and some situations I do not need to tolerate. And here you are moving away. That's the Six of Swords is, I almost feel like it should be after the Ten of Swords. The Six of Swords is moving away from a mentally difficult, unacceptable situation. This could be travel. You may be moving, you may be changing jobs, you may be leaving, literally moving. You could be moving out, you could be moving to a different city, you could be taking a different job. Whatever you've practically, in very tangible ways, with this Queen of Pentacles, you are doing whatever you have to do to move forward. And it's bringing an enormous amount of peace and harmony to your life. Then we have another Pentacles card, the Seven of Gardens. Again, this is maybe you want to be somewhere where there's a garden. I feel like some of you are planning your vegetable garden. You're going to grow your own food maybe this summer. You really want to get out and get your hands in the dirt and find ways to really connect with nature this month and become grounded and start planning your future. This card also talks about things being a process. So as you are moving into a more mentally less stressful atmosphere, it is a process. So give yourself a break if you're not always 100% like you may. I don't think you're ever going to regret what you're doing, but there may be times where you're like, shit, this is hard. This sucks. Like, why do I have to be the one to move? Why do I have to be the one to, you know, take the steps to fix a situation when I wasn't the one that was causing it? So you may have little bouts of that, but this card is just like, it's okay. It's a process. Allow yourself to feel that way, but just keep moving forward and know that it's going to continue to get better and better, and it's going to be worth it. I really feel like at the end of this process, you're just going to be like, I can't believe I didn't do this sooner. And you're just going to be just like, wow, life doesn't have to be stressful constantly with this other factor, this other person, this other situation that had been, sucking my energy for energy from my life recently and just driving me crazy. So I want to take another, so that's one story I'm seeing. Another story I'm seeing is definitely, I guess, a new beginning. And I feel like it's more for women than for men, but I try to be careful with gender because it's a general reading and I'm reading for everyone. So I do feel like someone is stepping out on their own, is either leaving a marriage or a relationship, maybe moving out of from home, but they're really starting off new, and creating their new home, getting a new apartment. Doesn't have to be a house, but getting their own space, getting their own place. And the possibilities, that's what it is. It's possibilities this month. The possibility to grow your own vegetables, to have a pet maybe, to beautify your surroundings and have them the way you are. I feel like for quite a few of you, yourself had been lost. Like maybe you were trying so hard to make someone else feel comfortable or calm them down or deal with their stuff that you got lost. And it's like all of a sudden you have this time now to rediscover yourself. And in the process, you're going to try new things, branch out, really start. Yeah, it's like this beautiful self-discovery, and I think you're really going to like what you see, and you're going to try new things, and be quite a different person leaving April. I think you're going to be healthier. You're going to enjoy your home more. It's going to be your sanctuary. You're just going to be more connected with life in general. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a really lovely month. Take care.